How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a couple hours to work on Tegan, our Integra, and to prepare it for, I guess, drag racing.
Yeah.
And for us, this is a game of power to weight, and we're really trying to maximize that. And one of the cheapest mods you can do is actually to just lose weight on the car.
Yeah.
So what's the plan today?
Strip all the interior, maybe try to cut out some steel, remove all the sound deadening.
Yeah.
And yeah,
It's going to be fun because I've never gone this extreme with cutting out weight. I've never built a race car before. There's always been street cars for us, but for Chris, he has a bit of knowledge on where to cut and where we can gain a bit of an advantage on the weight side of things.
Yeah.
So we're going to be removing the sound deadening. So in these cars, in most economically produced, I guess, consumer level cars, obviously they're gonna, from the factory, gonna put a lot of sound deadening in places where there's gonna be like acoustic vibrations, and yeah, although these Integras don't have so much,
Yeah.
it all kind of adds up. You want to show us what you've bought?
Yeah, so I've got about 10 kilos of dry ice here, which is obviously massively going to help to remove those sound deadening mats.
This is very cold.
Yeah,
Alright,
yeah,
so
yeah.
in an esky, like the outside of the esky feels frosty.
Yeah.
And apparently you don't touch it with your hands.
No, you got to use gloves, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know how it works?
I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm guessing what it's doing, it's freezing the sound deadening mat and shrinking it.
Yeah.
And then it just releases off the steel floor. Because sometimes you freeze it so much, you can pretty much just go in there and lift it up straight up.
Okay.
You don't even need to touch it with a hammer or nothing. It just lifts up straight away.
Cool.
Yeah.
I've done this twice before, but not with dry ice. So you can do it. The cheap method is just to go with it with a hammer and chisel, which is what I've done, but it makes a huge mess.
Yep. Yeah.
So this is going to be a lot quicker. So today we are going to strip the entire interior of the Integra, and then we can get on to pulling the dash apart, pulling the trims all out, and then sound deadening or removing the sound deadener on the Integra. So yeah, let's begin the fun task of pulling everything apart. Hopefully we have a big pile of parts on the ground here.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. Alrighty, didn't take too long.
No, it was pretty good effort, that.
I reckon half an hour,
Yeah.
and we've got a pretty much fully stripped Integra,
Yeah.
minus the dash, of course. We'll get to that at another point. We've got some dry ice that needs to go on now. So, yeah, what else did we find now we've stripped everything?
Well, this quarter panel has been got replaced at one stage. So I kind of had a bit of a idea just because of the weird flaky paint everywhere.
Yeah, we noticed something was up when
Yeah.
we saw a bit of bog over here, and obviously this quarter, probably had a new quarter and had another smash.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, exactly. It's hit twice.
Chris is being in this kind of industry, you can tell he's not very happy with the work.
Yeah, very, very poor craftsmanship, that's for sure.
Yeah, so shell's not as clean as we think. I've also found that this door used to be silver, so when we pulled off the mold the other week, we found out this does not have a mold, so it's a facelift door, and at some point in this car's life, they've replaced that.
Yeah.
We've also found a bit of rust here at the back. Yeah, this is not llooking too good.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I've never seen it that bad before.
Yeah, it's probably because the water comes down here. Maybe the boot's just been holding the water in here like this.
But this is all just helps us with removing weight from the car.
Yeah. What do they call it? Active weight reduction.
Yeah, active weight reduction, yeah. Perfect. So I've got my gloves here ready to rock and roll. And then you just kind of dump a couple of handfuls onto each sound deadening mat. And just let it do its work. Grab a couple of small handfuls and just throw it onto this first mat. Just a nice, generous amount, just so it can do its work properly.
Chris has bought about 10 kilos, is it?
Yeah.
10, 11 kilos of dry ice.
As this is working and shrinking the sound deadening mat, you can start to chip at it away. Then it's obviously grab these pellets and throw it to your next lot.
To the next panel, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, cool, gotcha.
You already hear it working already. Let it work a bit more.
Straight off. See pieces like this? Comes straight off with this dry ice. So if you do this without the dry ice, you're not getting a lot of the adhesive still sticking in. Yeah. Pretty much all of it's out. And we've got it all in a bag. Honestly, I reckon it's heavy,
Yeah, it's definitely
but I reckon maybe about 10 kilos.
good effort.
Yeah.
We didn't really spend long doing it either.
We probably spent about an hour and a half in total.
Yeah, max.
And had dinner. The thing is, if you order 10 kilos, you're probably going to need 2 people because you got to work quickly and probably choose a cool day for it. So yeah, the rest of tonight, we're just going to work on the sunroof.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a sunroof model, so this is a lot of weight, and I think we're going to be able to get our hands on a panel, like a piece of perspex, to block it off. How heavy is it?
Is that it? I think. Yeah. Okay. Let's just double check the wiring. Let's get this. Should have done this first, maybe. That's it. That was pretty easy.
Yeah.
That was
Sunroof is out. Chris is going to come back at some point and give this some love with his orbital.
Yeah. I'll come back on the weekend and.
So much bigger than I thought. So we might have a piece of perspex lined up for this.
More rust.
Yeah, we found a lot more rust than we expected.
Yeah.
Bit of rust there. Bit of rust there. Bit of rust there. Yeah, it's all over.
Yeah.
Really. But it's not too bad. There's no areas where I'm that concerned about.
Yeah.
Chris is like, no, it sucks. But yeah, this is our first night working on this, and we're going to call it a night, I think. In the meantime, next couple of days, I'm going to get this dash out and then start gutting out everything. Behind the dash, there's also a very thick firewall mat, which extends all the way up.
Yeah. Which
we've
is super
ripped up-
heavy.
Yeah, it's really, really heavy.
All these metal brackets that are here for the rear seats,
Yeah,
all that can get. I'll drill out all the spot welds and all
Yeah,
that can
yeah.
get removed.
yeah.
Then I would really like to kind of cut like this inner quarter out.
Yeah.
It's structural, but it's not really needed. I've cut it out of heaps of cars.
Yeah.
Just removed it all.
Other thing that will save us a lot of weight are these door intrusion bars.
Yeah.
So this thick bar in there runs across the whole door, and it's a very, very thick steel.
Yeah, it's like 5 mil thick. True.
Yeah.
They're in the EGs, they're 3.5 kilos each side.
Wow.
So 7 kilos all up. This might be a couple of more grams because it's a bigger door. So yeah, best 7 kilo weight saving there.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to try to keep this car somewhat in a street
car,
trim,
yeah.
just so we can compete on a Wednesday night. But yeah, I think we're going to actually head down on Wednesday night. Might take the FD,
Yeah.
go for a spin. So yeah, pretty happy with what we've achieved over like 2.5 hours.
A few hours, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We've gone from a street car to completely stripped out.
Yeah.
The last thing we're going to do tonight, we keep saying that, we've done a 50 other things
Yeah, we've done a couple more things.
on the Integra since. But I've decided, since taking the engine apart, I've decided we're going to order some aftermarket pistons. So this is the factory piston and rod, and it's a press design. So if we were to press out that pin, we could potentially destroy this piston. And although I'm happy with this comp, Yeah, I don't like our chances. I think it'd be a lot easier for us if we just went and
To a forged piston.
yeah, to a forged piston. Now we haven't done any cleaning on this. We haven't sent this to a machine shop, but we've decided, in the spirit of this build, we're just gonna send it.
So that's 81. Yeah. 81.85 really.
You know who I think we need to call?
Kitty?
Kitty.
Kitty. FaceTime Kitty.
Yeah.
You spin it to where it's 0, and then you can see calculate how much movement.
Oh, how much is ovaled?
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright.
Thanks, Kitty.
Thank you.
Don't worry about it, mate. Just hold it, and that's it. Send it.
So we're just taking a couple measurements, trying to figure out if this is egg-shaped or not. So far, so good. It's all within 0.1. We're between about 84 to 86, actually. It's very close. So our bore diameter, although it doesn't really matter, is 81.85. So what piston do we need? We don't even know. Send it, I guess. I think we're just going to get 81.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bearing in mind maybe the pistons might expand as well. Anyways, I don't even know why we measured, but we're just going to send it anyway. That's in. Just had a minute this afternoon, so we've just been pulling more stuff out of the Integra. The more I look for, the more I find. And the dash is coming out, but it's not hard because it's actually been out before. It's quite obvious. This was just slapped back together before it was sold. Nice. Bring it down. Oh, we caught on another harness. Yeah, good job. Yeah. Alright, put it down. Ready, 1, 2, 3, lift. Good job. I'll go back. Thank you. High five. All of this can come out.
Nasty Tegan.
All right, guys. So it's actually been a little while, but I've been away for the weekend, and Chris has just come to my place and just smashed it out for what, 2 full days
Yeah,
of
two full days, yeah.
paint correction and some minor repairs, and it's turned out absolutely amazing. Apart from the existing damage we have, the car really shines. It is so glossy. The thing I'm the most impressed about is probably the rear.
Yeah.
It's come up really good. This kind of car is probably what suits the spirit of this build. So we'll let Chris run us through what he's done in the last 2 days.
So obviously I kept going with the paint correction using all the Rupes products, and I just gave the rest of the car a buff with my Rupes. And yeah, probably to do the proper paint correction with removing all that dead paint, I probably wasted a good 6-7 hours buffing. On the driver side, I did do, there was some like really old brittle paint sitting on top. So I actually ended up like getting some 2000 wet and dry sandpaper and sanding that quarter down, sanding all that brittle paint off, which is why it's got this weird pinky look to it now. Like, I'm not too sure what that is anyway.
Yeah.
But there's obviously massive amounts of gloss to it.
Oh yeah, for
So,
sure. I mean, if you guys watched part 1 of this build, you'd see actually how flaky everything was.
yeah, it's horrible.
And there was a lot of different repairs and different aged
Different layers,
repairs as
yeah,
well.
different layers of
So-
random products.
Yeah, what Chris has done is actually just taken all of that off and went back to the factory, or
Yeah.
close to what the paint was from factory.
Yeah. After all the step 1, then I went over it with Roop's fine polishing compound, which is their step 2,
Yeah.
which is just like a swirl remover
Yeah.
from the step 1, and that's just a quick job. That probably took me maybe 90 minutes to do. But then after step 2, then I gave it 3 coats of Canuba wax, to put some sort of protection on there now.
Yeah, I went and parked it outside for just 3 days.
Yeah.
While the Civic was in the garage, and look what happened. We had fading already.
Yeah, it started fading already.
Yeah. So what does that wax do?
It just adds a layer of protection. So now the sun will kind of attack the wax instead of attacking the paint.
Yeah, yeah.
So the wax will slowly get, like I guess eaten away, will slowly remove. But then, yeah, obviously every time when you wash it, you kind of redo another coating again on top.
Yeah.
To continue the protection.
Yeah. Show us what you did to the roof as well.
Oh yeah, so forgot about that. Yeah, so the roof was just as bad as this driver's side.
Yeah, the roof was not savable.
No, it was really bad, the roof. So I gave it just a 600 wet rub.
Yeah.
There's a quick mask up with some plastic, and then I just gave it 3 coats of some acrylic aerosol can black.
Yeah.
Just to try to cover up all that real bad paint.
Yeah, I've never seen a can job turn out like this. I'm definitely no expert. But yeah, extremely happy with just the overall paint now. Like for the stage 1 of this build, I'm more than satisfied.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Very, very happy with it.
It's kind of still got like that nasty ratty look to it, which is how it's meant to look.
We have a bit more work to do in terms of stripping this car a bit more. The dash is sitting over there, and I am going to strip the dash a bit more, but we still need to have most of the trim in there to run on a Wednesday night. So yeah, this is what the interior looks like at the moment. It's pretty bare, but there's still more we want to do.
Yeah, very happy with it, but I'm also keen to strip it down and respray it.
Yeah, I'm sure. As a painter, obviously this is hard for you to look at.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll push it back in, and we'll keep going.
You know that I feel good. Doing things I never thought I could. Smiling in the mirror, I look good. Like I should. I feel brand spanking new. I don't know about you, I feel good. And I'm clocking out, been working hard, I'ma hit the town. I'm at the beach when I'm in the house. I sail the seas when I'm on the couch. Got sunshine in a bottle every time I take a swallow. Like I'm taking a vacation, feeling like I...
Alright, it's been a really good but a long day. And we started filming this video about a week ago, but in the last 24 hours, we've really gotten down to what I would describe as the bare shell for this stage of the build. So for my 10-second goal, I'm not really planning to cut anything more out of the car. All the extra steel brackets, we have gone and drilled out the spot welds. We've also gone and cut out the skin parts from the quarters as well, but obviously we've got some structural steel there, which we are leaving in place for now. A few cuts here, a few cuts there. Moving down there, we have gutted out the entire car. I've given it really good clean now, so all the shavings are gone. Given it a wipe down and vacuum, and yeah, it looks really good. And just tonight, we have gone and gutted out this dash. The way these things are built, I believe, although there are a lot of screws here, from the factory, I think they are glued down to the frame of the dash. So even though you take off the screws, you can't really pull off this skin. But you've got all these vents running behind here, but now it's completely hollow. And what I've done is actually remove parts of this dash, and then I had to pretty much destroy the vent to pull it out of this frame. It's not light really, to be honest, but you know, this is a one-hand job. It's not as heavy as it used to be, and all of those parts are on the floor now. So we've got lots of plastic which has come out, bit of metal frame there, got lots of metal sheets. So at times you're just like, oh, this is removing like grams, but it all really adds up. And yeah, so I'm pretty happy with the progress we've got here. At the front here at the dash, something which is quite heavy is that firewall mat. The matting, which is kind of like an insulation, but also a heavy rubber. It sits along the entire firewall, and once that came out, well, that was a lot of weight. We need the setup to be very simple. And for the last part of what I'm going to do tonight, I want to show you guys what I've done before in the past with just removing some of the excess wiring in the car. All right, so this is the body loom, and the most simple way to put it is that it connects the fuse box and the ECU to various parts of the car. So in this instance, we have speaker wires over there, the door switch, we have the fuel pump, fuel level, sensors, we have the handbrake for the cluster, all of that we don't need in a drag car. And for simple wiring cleanups like this, what you do need to be careful about is the grounds. So we do have a few grounds coming from this end of the harness, so just remembering the loom going to the back, we are not going to touch any of that. We need to be careful what we're cutting. So if there is a ground, we're actually going to cut it downstream at this point before it connects to the harness, because we don't know at any given point inside this harness, and maybe inside this protective sleeve, there could be some sort of splice to the ground there, which would end up grounding at this common stud on these 4 black wires. So yeah, when in doubt, just go downstream and cut it further away. But for signal wires, for like your speaker wires, generally the colored wires, you can probably afford to come down upstream and cut it down probably here. So on this branch here, we have seatbelt and handbrake. So let's start with the handbrake. You have a solid green with a red stripe. All you need to do is trace the wire, push it up and down on this harness, and you'll see on this side, ideally as close to the fuse box as possible, but in our case, this will do. So over here, and we can pull this wire out, and this is out of the loom. Next we have that seatbelt one. So if you pull the harness back, you'll see it is a solid red with a blue stripe and also a black. And I can see that this black is heading to our nut here, which is a common ground point. So in this case, I'm going to cut it, because it's the single wire and the only ground on the harness, I'm going to cut it right next to the stud, like that. And then our red wire with the blue stripe, I'm going to trace it back, which looks like it is this one. So again, running it upstream as far as we want to, cut. And then this will come straight out like that. It's quite satisfying. If we were to do this job properly, we'll probably pull out the whole harness and then de-pin each wire that we have just terminated here. So because we've just cut it here, cut it short, we need to protect this, otherwise you could risk shorting out and causing more problems later. So to do this, I'm going to shrink some adhesive line heat shrink onto it. Now, I moved away from conventional heat shrink a long time ago, and this is some of the good stuff that I get from Element 14. It's an adhesive line heat shrink. So once you heat it down, it does shrink quite a lot, and it also leaves a glue there which hardens and dries up. I realized the camera ran out of battery, but you get the point. So just wrap the harness in this tester tape. Don't have to go overboard, just to give it some of a compact sheath, and I've just secured it with some cable ties. And yeah, we have saved ourselves a whole lot of mess here. We've got a single loom running all the way to the headlights, the tail lights at the back, and saves a tiny bit of weight. It all adds up. Most importantly, it's just clutter-free and simple in the car. So yeah, going to call it a night. In the next few days, we're going to get on to removing the fuel tank, the fuel lines, and that should do it for stripping the car. So yeah, see you guys in the next few days. It is a 41-degree day, so it's quite warm, but we are so keen to get this done. And it's actually between Christmas and New Year's now, so we've got a bit of time off, and we're going to work on Tegan today. So yeah, we're pretty close to finishing the strip process. We just wanted to strip a bit more weight from the doors and the bonnet today, and also remove the fuel tank. So that's our plan for today.
We'll just cut out this center part of the framing under here.
Yeah.
And we'll just keep a couple inches on the side to keep some rigidity to the skin. But all this center section, we'll just cut that and completely remove it altogether.
Yeah, the Integra bonnet is quite heavy compared to the EG and the EKs. It's probably a bigger bonnet as well. Yep. So I think cutting the skin out and part of the frame will actually remove a lot of weight. So that's part of the plan today. Next thing we're going to do is work on the doors. So these doors from all the Integras in Australia, probably all Integras, they're all powered.
Yeah.
Powered windows. So there's a regulator which runs there with a frame which allows it to slide up and down. For the passenger side door, we're going to just gut it out, and more importantly for both sides, we want to remove that big thick intrusion bar, and apparently they are quite thick.
Yeah,
it's a very thick tube.
Yeah,
keen to show you guys that. So in the process of removing that, we also want to find a way to fix this window there. So one, it's stuck up. So we're going to find a way to maybe just cable tie it onto the frame.
Maybe drill a hole somewhere and just use cable ties to try to hold it up.
Yeah, and hopefully it's nice and sturdy.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
And the driver's side, we're going to leave powered, and we're just going to remove that, the side intrusion bar.
Yeah.
So yeah. And later on today, we can remove the fuel tank, and that should be it.
Tegan's diet.
Tegan's diet,
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, so let's get started on the door.
So this is for like any 90s Honda. EG, EK, DC2, it's all the same. So first thing is this little...
It's like a cotter pin.
Yeah, the holder or the striker that holds the door open. So this just gets a couple of taps like that to get removed. Like that. And then inside here, the plug. We just get a little clip remover like that. Just bring open this plastic, the rubber. And there should be a clip like that. And then it's just...
the hinges.
Yeah, so they're 12 mil. It's heaps easy. If you're doing this solo, it's heaps easier to have the guard off. And you have the door in a closed position like that. And then you can undo the bolts like that, then undo this and take it off by yourself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If you were doing it solo.
Chris with his new trim remover tool. He got sick of using my one.
Yeah, so I had to go buy a couple.
Doesn't like the Super Cheap Auto Special. What's that?
Tape the thing. Oh,
Yes. Not dodgy at all. Might be able to just pull it down.
Yeah, that's it. Perfect. Beautiful.
So what I'm doing here is just pulling it down to access the where it bolts up to the rail. That's it.
How much does that weigh? 2 or 3 kilos? 1 kilo.
1 kilo. 1 kilo and a bit.
That's fine.
We are going to cut the skin of this door. We still haven't figured out how we are going to fix the window, but I think once we cut the skin, we might have a better look and come up with something ingenious.
Pretty happy with that.
I feel like the more we look, the more weight we find.
Yeah, you can just keep finding more places to remove it, eh?
Yeah, so we're just taking off part of this rail, I guess. It bolts onto the frame here, the skin. And we can just probably cut this.
Yeah, I'll get a
cut this
razor blade.
And at the moment, we're trying to work out how we can bolt this window shut. And we can probably just run one of these through the door skin and just fix that tab. But I'm not sure if it's going to hold. This is some terrible eyeballing.
I think... Oh, yeah, it's completely off. Yeah, no. Hold on, here's my text.
It's like closer to here. It's like one of those, you know those machines when you play with the claw machines?
Yeah. That's much closer. Yeah.
No pilot hole, just send it. Huge thanks to Brad from Loctite. Thanks for that. Yep, awesome. I think that's holding pretty good. Yeah, she's not.
That's hectic.
Awesome, just one bolt, eh? So the main part of this job is this big intrusion bar here. It's good for preventing side impact damage, but we're not going to need that going in a straight line. So what Chris is doing is he is marking out where the spot welds are for this bracket which bolts onto the tube. And then when he does that, we can use this spot weld drill bit, remove those spot welds on both sides, and then be able to cut that bar out.
There we go, beautiful.
Popped right off. Oh, it's heavy.
Yeah.
You see how thick diameter that tubing is? The wall thickness? That's got to be like
5 mil.
5-6 mil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
That's
mental.
why it's so heavy. It's going.
Maybe my spot weld drilling wasn't precise enough.
About 5 grams. Need to weigh the door.
Oh, it's
Much
nothing.
better. Much better. It's still kind of heavy,
Yeah.
but we've got OEM glass. But it's a lot better.
Yeah, much better.
Talk about stuff ups.
Yeah.
Well, I realized I stuffed up majorly when we see 5 holes from when I went through the door skin drilling out that intrusion bar. And then Chris goes and pulls on the door and breaks the handle.
Yeah, because it was locked. That's fine. This is it's another 10 grams in weight saving, really.
Yeah, adds to the character. Both doors are done. Have a look at this. Proper gutted. This is so good. All right, it's time to sort out the bonnet. Same deal, we'll take it outside and we'll do some cutting. While Chris is marking what he wants to cut, there are a lot of these sealers here, like seam sealers, gluing the skin down. So we're gonna have to get a knife in there and try to cut some of it out. Decent amount of weight actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
I reckon it's a kilo.
Beautiful.
10 grams.
Oh, yeah?
Pretty much the rest of the video, we're just gonna remove the fuel tank. And that's pretty much the final piece of this lightweight project. And I would say we've stripped a lot of weight out of this car from when we started.
Yeah.
I think, I'm gonna calculate this, I reckon we're close to 80, 90, 100 kilos.
Oh, you think?
I think so, especially with that tank coming out.
The tank, yeah, plus the tank, yeah, true.
Yeah, so tank is pretty straightforward. So with the tank, once you've undone the lines inside the car where the fuel lid comes off, tank, you can come over here and then remove some of the rubber hosing, the brackets, and then you've got 2 metal straps at the bottom.
Yep.
And then that'll just undo and then the tank should fall straight down.
Yeah, I think there's just four bolts,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, 2 on the back and 2 on the front of the
Yeah.
tank.
Easy.
So yeah, I don't know how much we can show, but
And
get the tank out.
when
Yeah.
you pull a tank out, definitely drain all the fuel
Yeah,
before you drop the tank.
you want to tell us a little story?
Yeah, well, I used to work with an old mechanic at Silverwater Smash Repairs, and yeah, he was taking a fuel tank out of his son's patrol, and it was full of fuel, and it crushed. When he unbolted it, it crushed his arm, and it never healed properly, so he's got a pretty messed up arm now.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely drain all the fuel.
Yeah,
Safety
definitely.
first.
You got to get this the filler neck and the breather line out, and it's hidden behind these plastic just shields.
Covers, yeah.
Plastic covers, very flimsy. You can just rip them off, and then you got to pull the 2 hoses off the tank, and the tank should be ready to drop right out. Another long day.
Oh.
We've done well on the Integra
Yeah.
today. We've completely cleaned up the exterior. It's looking really nice. Done the roof as well. We've taken the sunroof out. We've got a plug on the way. We've gutted everything inside the car, taken out all the sound deadening, all the brackets we don't need. We've cut out some of the skin on the recorders and the doors.
Yep.
Taken the dash out, completely gutted the dash. Removed the heavy firewall matting. We've also come and removed, I've removed a few of the brackets in the engine bay already, although I haven't really touched much here. There's still a bit left to do. But for this video, I'm pretty happy with what we've achieved.
Yeah.
I am going to do a bit of a calculation later on, and I'll work out how much I guesstimate this to have cut. I'll put that kilogram weight there.
So
this might look very stripped out for now, but there's actually a lot more. Yeah. And now the fuel tank has come out. I've still got the fuel lines to rip out. So they exit the firewall over here. So I'm going to rip all the fuel lines out. I'm also going to take the guard liners off. I'm going to change over to the smaller knuckle. Got to take the sway bars out front and rear. So
yeah.
I did think that this video was finished, but I've actually got a bit to do. But I won't bore you with all that. So yeah, if you guys have done this before, let us know. What else have you got from the car? Next video, we are going to start building our engine.
Yeah, sick.
That's going to be pretty cool. We've just got our pistons on the way, and that's pretty much it. I've got to give you a quick peek. We've got our B18B block all cleaned up, ready to go. No machining, of course.
No, definitely not.
Got our B16A2 over there, ready to go on to our block. So yeah, let us know what you guys think. If you liked the video, guys, make sure you give it a like, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you are interested in the build, and then you guys can keep a tab on this build because it's going to be really good. I'll see you guys in the next video.
See yous.